Aryna Sabalenka wins second WTA Player of the Year award in a row. Aryna Sabalenka's impressive year was just capped off with an honor that puts her among the greats in women's tennis. WTA world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka has landed in elite company after having a dominant tennis season in 2025. After being awarded her second straight Player of the Year award on Monday, Sabalenka joined Serena Williams and Iga Swiatek as the only back-to-back female winners in the last 25 years. The Belarus native earned nearly 80% of the vote from a panel of media members to take the top spot. This year, Sabalenka won the US Open and reached the finals of two other Grand Slam tournaments, the Australian and French Opens. Sabalenka was also the women's tennis leader in match wins with a record of 63-12, titles with 4, and finals appearances with 9. Her achievements netted her a tour record $15 million in prize money. In the tournaments she came close to winning, Sabalenka was a runner-up to Americans Madison Keys in January and Coco Gauff in June. She also fell short in the semi-final round of Wimbledon to Amanda Anisimova in July before she was able to get her revenge in September, beating Anisimova to defend her US Open title. The 27-year-old was also presented with a trophy for finishing the season at number 1 at the year-end WTA Finals. She had a hot start to the tournament with her world-class display against number 8 Jasmine Paolini, taking down the Italian star in just over an hour with a 6-3, 6-1 victory. Sabalenka also got caught up in controversy during the WTA season, however. She projected her frustration over losing the French Open final at Gauff, her opponent, but Sabalenka later apologized for her comments. "I wanted to apologize and make sure she knew she absolutely deserved to win the tournament and that I respect her. I never intended to attack her," Sabalenka said in June. "I was super emotional and not very smart at that press conference. I'm not necessarily proud for what I did. It took me a while to revisit it, to approach it with open eyes and understand. I realized a lot about myself." Despite the rough patch, Sabalenka ultimately ended the year on top and in the midst of the peak of her career. In December 2025, Aryna Sabalenka, the indomitable Belarusian force of the women's tennis tour, etched her name once again into the sport's rich tapestry of greatness. For the second consecutive season, Sabalenka was crowned WTA Player of the Year, a distinction voted on by international media members that honors the best performance across the entire women's professional circuit. Her victory was emphatic, securing nearly 80% of the vote, and it places her among the most dominant athletes of her generation. Women's Tennis Blog. But this accolade is no mere award in a cabinet. It symbolizes a journey of resilience, raw power, and relentless ambition. Dominance defined. The 2025 season in numbers. Sabalenka's 2025 season was nothing short of extraordinary, a campaign of consistency, intensity, and elite tennis at its peak. For world number 1, she maintained the top spot in the WTA rankings from start to finish for the second straight year, affirming her status as the player to beat. Kill now. 63 wins, the most match victories on tour, showcasing both her skill and durability. Women's Tennis Blog. 9 finals, more finals reached than any other player in 2025. Women's Tennis Blog. 4 titles, including the defense of her US Open crown, a testament to her ability to produce under pressure against Amanda Anisimova in the final. Kill now. Record prize money, over $15 million, the most ever earned by a woman in a single season on tour. Women's Tennis Blog. In a year defined by fierce competition, with top talents like Coco Gauff, Iga Swiatek, Madison Keys, and rising stars challenging at every turn, Sabalenka stood out not just for her results, but for the way she earned them. Reuters. More than a champion. A season of spectacle and struggle. 2025 wasn't just about titles and statistics, it was the story of a competitor refining her craft, managing expectations, and responding to adversity with grit. Sabalenka reached the finals of 3 Grand Slam tournaments, the Australian Open, French Open, and US Open, and made a deep run at Wimbledon. Though she fell short at some majors, she consistently pressed the game's best and was nearly unbeatable at her peak. Women's Tennis Blog. Her successful defense at the US Open, a tournament considered by many to be the most physically and mentally demanding, showed the depth of her resolve. She faced Amanda Anisimova, a formidable young American, in a memorable final where Sabalenka's power and composure carried her through. Along the way, she faced her share of controversy and emotion. Earlier in the season, after a hard-fought loss at the French Open, she publicly navigated the emotional aftermath with humility, later offering reflections that revealed her growth both as an athlete and as a person. Sports. Her journey in 2025 was unmistakably human, driven by the same passion, self-doubt, and determination that fuel all great competitors. A place in history. What this award really means. Winning the WTA Player of the Year award once is a career-defining moment. Winning it twice in a row, and at only 27 years old, positions Sabalenka among a rare group of modern greats. She became the 7th woman in WTA history to claim back-to-back titles in this category, joining names like Serena Williams and Iga Swiatek. Tennis.com. Her accomplishment represents not only sustained excellence but also broad recognition. Nearly 80% of international media voters chose her as the tour's standout player, testimony to the compelling narrative her season wove, matched with statistical dominance. Women's tennis blog. She also climbed into the top tier on the all-time list for weeks spent at world number 1, a number that speaks to her consistency at maintaining peak performance against a deep field of global competitors. Women's tennis blog. The bigger picture. Impact on women's tennis. Sabalenka's second straight Player of the Year award arrives at an electrifying time for women's tennis, an era defined by depth, unpredictability, and thrilling rivalries. Giants of the sport, from seasoned champions to fearless newcomers, have kept fans captivated. Throughout this competitive landscape, Sabalenka's achievements have elevated global visibility for the WTA, contributing to record levels of engagement and interest. Inspired a new generation of players, demonstrating that power, intensity, and mental fortitude create a formidable competitive identity. Helped push financial benchmarks, as her record prize money signals the growing commercial success of the women's tour. Women's tennis blog. By defining consistency in an era of rampant competition, Sabalenka's journey in 2025 becomes not just a personal triumph, it becomes part of the evolution of the sport itself. Looking ahead, what comes next? As the tennis world turns its eyes toward the 2026 season, the anticipation is electric.